Here we go. Today, I will get to where I now rank LeBron James in my all-time top 10. But first up, I want to congratulate LeBron James and his elite team of spin doctors on pulling off the biggest scam in NBA media history. The biggest hoodwink, biggest bamboozle, biggest okey doke, biggest con job, biggest blame deflection ever. I mean ever. Biggest behind the back, between the legs, no look, sleight of hand magic trick ever. Successfully pulled off on the entire sports world, which swallowed all this hook, line, and stinker. For the third straight year, LeBron James all-time stunk in the fourth quarters of 3 straight Laker playoff flameouts, games 3, 4, and 5. And now he has managed to flip the entire script, the entire narrative on its spinning head, making the sports world believe he wants to be traded because Laker GM Rob Pelinka has let him, LeBron, down by not surrounding him with the necessary help. Help me. Now the bulk of the media writes about this story this way. Rich Paul's cryptic statement indicates LeBron wants to go where he has a legitimate chance to win because the Lakers are in big trouble. That's the new flipped script anyway. I'm calling baloney on you, LeCON James. I'm calling baloney on LeCON James. Nothing but the truth here on the Skip Bayless Show, brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, as always. Would you believe LeCON even went to the trouble of flying all the way to Cleveland to be randomly photographed with some poor Cavs undrafted free agent prop that LeBron used as a prop at the Cavs facility so that LeBron could get this picture leaked out onto social media so everybody would write about how, oh my God, LeBron is back home in Cleveland at the Cavs facility because he obviously wants to finish his career with the Cavs, and he's there now working out the details of the trade. Man, I laughed all weekend over this, and I'll hoot and holler some more about this in just a few minutes as I dig deeper into this diabolical ruse, which was pure media manipulating genius by LeBron and company. Seriously, LeBron should win some kind of Emmy or maybe even an Oscar for this screenplay and for this performance. LeBron is a one-man Ocean's 11. He's the talented Mr. Ripley James. Leo, catch him if you can. Remember any of those movies? LeBron's a star, man. But now, just for a moment, let's all calm down. Just for half a second. And please remember the facts about what just actually happened. Now for the cold, hard reality. The absolute truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Ready for this? The Lakers finished third in a loaded Western Conference with a 50-32 record. Pretty good. The Lakers on Sunday, April the 6th, very late in the season, that was on national TV, on ABC, live, went into Oklahoma City and demolished the soon-to-be champion Thunder 126-99. Held them to 99 in OKC. They did that. That afternoon, Luka had 30, Austin Reeves had 20, LeBron had 19, Dorian Finney-Smith had 14, Gabe Vincent had 12, Rui had 11. That's a lot of guys in double figures. As the Lakers won the boards 43-34 against Chet and Hartenstein. And that's as Jackson Hayes and Jared Vanderbilt and even Jordan Goodwin each had 5 rebounds, and Luka and Rui and Dorian Finney-Smith each had 7 rebounds. Whew, talk about balance. Okay, yeah, that day the Lakers did go crazy hot from 3. They did make 22 of 40, but late in the year, on the road, against by far the NBA's best team, the Los Angeles Lakers flexed their powerhouse potential for all the NBA world to see on national TV. And after all, hadn't the media proclaimed the Luka trade is the biggest steal in NBA history? That's all I heard. The Lakers had landed the best scorer in the game today, on top of the greatest scorer ever, who was having the greatest 40-year-old season by far ever, an astonishing second-team All-NBA season for LeBron freaking James. Didn't Luka and LeBron form the greatest 3-guard backcourt in NBA history, including, of course, Austin Reeves, who had emerged at that point late in the season as a bona fide star. Bona fide. You know, silly me. I really like this Laker team. And I fully expected that the Lakers Thunder playoff series, the winner of that, would represent the West in the NBA Finals. Silly me. I really believe that. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The odds makers like the Lakers too. The Lakers were the second favorites in the West as the playoffs began. Second favorite to the Thunder. So this is what you should really, really remember. The Lakers were strongly favored to beat the Timberwolves in the first round of the playoffs. Strongly favored. To hear the NBA media tell it now, this was some pathetic mismatch in favor of Minnesota. That's the way it turned out. But that is not the way Vegas saw it going in. I mean, the Lakers were completely healthy. They did have home court advantage in this series, and they were strong favorites. Remember that, please. Just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. Here are the point spreads for each of those Laker T-Wolves games. Game 1 in Los Angeles. Lakers favored by 4.5. Game 2 in Los Angeles. Lakers favored by 5.5. Okay. Game 3 in Minnesota. Timberwolves favored by only 3.5 at home. Game 4. Timberwolves favored by only 2.5 at home. And Game 5 back in LA, Lakers again favored by 5.5. What do those point spreads tell you? Lakers favored. Expectations. Unrealized. But the odds makers fully expected the Lakers to win that series. Now for the facts, not some LeBron hocus pocus. Fact. The series was tied 1 game all heading into Game 3 in Minnesota. LeBron did hit a 3 with 6 minutes left to cut Minnesota's lead to only 1 point. The game was tied with 4.5 minutes left. But in those final 6 minutes, a LeBron James who would wind up with 38 points for the game. 38, that's pretty great. Over the last 6 minutes, LeBron James failed to score a single point. He had 1 turnover and 1 missed 3 in the final 6 minutes as the Timberwolves pulled away to win by 12 by 12? I mean, come on, Bron. Okay, game 4, fourth quarter. LeBron played all 12 fourth quarter minutes and failed to score a single fourth quarter point. The Lakers did lead by 2 with 1:29 left, but they got outscored 5-0 the rest of the way and lost by 3. LeBron missed a 3 with 54 seconds left that would have put them up 5. That's the shot of the whole series. Put them up 5. But LeBron's careless inbounds pass was stolen at the end. It was a killer turnover. And this was the man who does not have enough help. This was all-time awful. This was vintage LeChoke. What? Now, game 5 back in LA became the closeout game. LeBron did not score for the first 9 minutes of that fourth quarter. He did finally hit a 3 with 3:08 left that cut Minnesota's lead to only 2. But with 2:09 left, he missed a 3 that would have cut it to 3. The T-Wolves finally gave LeBron an uncontested layup with 33 seconds left that cut it all the way down to 6. Minnesota won by 7 to close out the Lakers in 5. And of course, the same T-Wolves would get gentlemen swept by the Thunder in 5. So again, let's get this completely straight for all you who have closed your eyes to this. The NBA's all-time leading scorer went 27 straight minutes of fourth quarter spanning games 3, 4, and 5 without scoring a single point. That's 27 straight minutes, which is more than half of an entire NBA game, without scoring a single point. In 3 straight games, 3, 4, and 5, that were highly winnable, begging to be won by the Los Angeles favored Lakers. I am not exaggerating. I am not fabricating. I am not deceiving the way LeBron does. I am telling you the, I guess, unreported truth. Nobody talked about LeBron's 27 straight minute drought because LeBron James is the most overprotected superstar in sports history. I do not exaggerate. He went from second team All-NBA in the regular season, from a top 10 player in the regular season, to once again having no clutch gene in 3 straight highly winnable fourth quarters against a team the Lakers were strongly favored to beat. Help me out. I mean, come on. And yeah, I give you this. Gobert was ultimately able to go Shaq on the Lakers because rookie head coach J.J. Redick inexplicably refused to play 7-foot Jackson Hayes, whom the Lakers did re-sign and who I've always liked because, man, he does play hard and he is an athletic leaper who definitely can at least bother Gobert, would have at least competed his ass off against Gobert. That's what he does. But no, JJ, probably advised by LeBron, his former podcast partner, JJ went small, obviously counting on LeBron and Luka to be what they should have been, the 2 best players on the floor down the stretches of games 3, 4, and 5. Instead, in those 3 combined fourth quarters of those final 3 games, Luka shot a combined 3 of 11, scored 14 total points, and was a minus 27 in just those 3 fourth quarters, minus 27, while LeBron was a combined 5 of 14, scored a grand total of 16 points in those 3 fourth quarters and was a whopping minus 29 just in those 3 combined fourth quarters, minus 29. Ouch, Bron. Now, just for the record, I guess it's possible that Rich Paul's shadowy LeBron's not happy statement was about Luka not providing enough fourth quarter help. I mean, the two of them were equally awful late in games 3, 4, and 5. But to my eyes, LeBron and Luka appeared to vibe just fine during the regular season. Didn't it seem that way to you? They said all the right things, acted all the right ways. LeBron did seem to enjoy taking a back seat, just having a little less spotlight, definitely less pressure. He could share the point guard duties with Luka so LeBron could better pace himself at the end of year 22, or so I thought. Unfortunately, it looked to me like LeBron was the one who was, again, running out of gas, not Luka, even though sitting right here in this chair, I often criticize Luka for his double chin and that spare tire around his midsection. JJ Redick was obviously directing the comment at Luka when he said, after they were eliminated, some of us have to get in championship shape. And you know what? It does look like, from the pictures I've seen, that Luka has finally gotten serious after 7 NBA seasons and dropped maybe, I don't know, it looks like maybe 15 pounds this offseason. Good for Luka. So LeBron James, who decides when he's coming out of games and when he's going back into games, has insisted on averaging 35 minutes a game each of the last 3 regular seasons. 35 minutes, no exaggeration. Why? I believe to build in yet another alibi in case of playoff flameouts, which he's needed each of the last 3 years. He's needed that alibi. Well, he played so much in the regular season, he just ran out of gas in the playoffs. So, yep, that's 3 straight ran out of gases in the playoffs. Wonder what would happen if LeBron James had a real coach, a Pat Riley type, strong enough to restrict him to, I don't know, maybe 25 or max out at 30 minutes a game during the regular season. Wonder what that would help work. Oh, yeah. But then he couldn't average 24, 8, and 8 like he did last year and make second team All-NBA. He needs the minutes to pile up the stats, pad the stats, feature the stats. Come on. LeBron doesn't really care about winning championships anymore. If it happened, it'd be fine. But he doesn't really prioritize winning championships now. He cares only about starring, about statting, about avoiding blame, media manipulating, blame deflecting, at which he and Rich and Maverick are the all-time greatest. All-time greatest. Now, let me get this out of the way. Against Minnesota in the fourth quarter of Game 5, LeBron did bang knees with DiVincenzo. Just bang knees. But then he and the Lakers tried to sell it after the fact as a, quote, grade 2 MCL sprain, when it wasn't remotely dangerously twisted, that knee. It wasn't hyperextended, that knee. The only ways to cause a sprain are with a dangerous twist or hyperextension. Now, that collision could have caused no more than a bruised knee, which can ache, can hurt. I mean, at the worst case, it could shatter. It could crack a bone. But LeBron obviously looked fine running and cutting on that knee the rest of Game 5. But of course, after the Lakers had been eliminated, LeBron, as he has always done after a playoff flameout, he milked that knee for all it was worth, posting about how he was going to have to get his knee right in the offseason. Baloney. LeBron was soon seen dancing on stage with Drake. He was bouncing around with hype energy. It's the kind of energy I wish I'd seen in those 3 fourth quarters. And a trainer who works with other NBA players texted me that video that night with the caption, "That MCL looks great now." Yeah, it's a miracle. Remember back in 2018 after the Cavs got swept by the Warriors? How LeBron, I laugh every time I think of this. You can look it up. Look at it on YouTube, watch the whole press conference. But he came to the post-game press conference wearing this sort of brace or soft cast on his hand. And when obviously the first question was about that brace, he announced to the media, "I pretty much played the last 3 games with a broken hand, a broken shooting hand." He said that was thanks to a self-inflicted injury he suffered after game 1 when he angrily smashed the whiteboard with his shooting hand. What? Man, LeBron averaged almost 30 a game over those last 3 games with pretty much a broken right hand? Seriously? If you can't see me right now, I'm giving it one big eye roll. Heck, remember back in 2010, LeBron's been at this for a long time, this con game. Remember when LeBron disappeared in games 4, 5, and 6 against the Celtics? That was his first stint as it ended in Cleveland. Somebody in LeBron's inner circle informed Stephen A. Smith that LeBron had to be sedated before the last 3 games because of a locker room issue with a teammate. And Stephen A. ran with it. Stephen A. reported all of the above as he should have. And I sat back and said, what? This was master media manipulation. Always some highly creative, heavily choreographed excuse, deflecting blame off LeBron, and focus completely off yet another playoff flameout. And speaking of flameouts, does anyone but me remember LeBron is now 2-12 in his last 14 Laker playoff games? But before I go into the gory details, quick timeout for FanDuel. Nothing says summer fun like adding excitement to the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. Hey, summer sports are calling your name. Baseball under the stadium lights, golf on pristine green fairways, soccer matches with world-class goals, and all the action-packed moments in between. We got Summer League. We got Caitlin about to come back. Come on, you're going to spend all day following your favorite sports on your phone anyway. Might as well make it more thrilling with FanDuel. Open the app today to see the daily promotions. If you're new to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. So you might as well give it a shot. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com/skip. Use my first name, FanDuel.com/skip to get started. FanDuel.com/skip. So I continue. Please think about these facts, FACTS facts. LeBron is 2-12 in his last 3 Laker playoff series. That would be Denver, and Minnesota. But you never hear about 2-12, do you? I don't. Do you ever hear about 28-25? LeBron in 7 Laker seasons is only 28-25 in the postseason. 28-25. That includes missing the playoffs twice, and that does include that run through the bubble when, remember, LeBron got almost 4 months to rest up for a pandemic tournament most other teams weren't interested in being quarantined for in Orlando. Alex Caruso was a Laker when they won that Mickey Mouse championship in Orlando. And maybe you caught this, but after Caruso's Thunder won this year's championship, Caruso said, and I quote, "Now I have a real one," meaning a genuinely won ring, not a cubic zirconia. Yet, even if we count that championship run in the bubble, LeBron is only 28-25 as a Laker in the playoffs. Only 28-25. And some people try to make the case he's the GOAT. That's more of a Billy Goat record. A Billy Goat eating tin cans record. I am not making this up. You can look it up. 28-25 in the playoffs as a Los Angeles Laker, including 2-12 in his last 3 series. Lord have mercy. Yet, seriously, I ask you, does anyone but me talk about this? Nope. LeBron is God. LeBron can do no wrong. Hey, have you seen that new LeBron commercial where he's the Benihana chef flipping food at customers? Isn't that funny? He's so talented. He's such a nice guy. He's so much fun. I'll bet he could be a great chef. That's all I hear right now. That and where will LeBron force a trade to? Which team will be lucky enough to have him and probably Bronny for the next 2 years, maybe 3? Both The Athletic and ESPN.com did big breakdowns on which teams might be able to pull off a massive trade for LeBron, concluding each time pretty unrealistic, pretty unrealistic. All this after Rich Paul leaked the news that 4 teams have inquired about LeBron. Beautiful, Rich. You're masterful. Okay, so help me out here. If LeBron had really wanted to play elsewhere, why did he opt into a Laker contract that will pay him the max $52.6 million? He could have been a completely free agent. He could have been wined and dined by each of those 4 teams that allegedly won him. Maybe 5, 6, 7 teams. But instead, he opted in and severely handicapped Rob Pelinka from trying to improve the team because LeBron is making next year the max $52.6 million. He wants more help, but severely limited his team in getting him more help. But you know, and I know why he opted in, because none of those 4 teams were going to pay him $52.6 million, even though he's still arguably the biggest draw in basketball. I give you that because he's the all-time leading scorer. But none of those 4 would pay him that much money in year 23 because, first of all, nobody had that much money, cap space, and nobody was going to clear the decks and ship out the salaries to pay LeBron James that much money at age 41 because those teams out there, that they actually want to win. Now, if LeBron had been willing to play for, I don't know, $20 million, so those 4 could preserve their core, Their rotation? Maybe. But here we go again. There is no way LeBron James wants to live anywhere but in Hollywood as his career winds down. Hollywood, home to his second career. No way he wants to give up La La Land for an entire winter flying in and out of, I don't know, let's say Cleveland, even though he's obviously from right down the road in Akron. No way. Stop it. Don't buy it. Which brings me back full circle to that hilariously transparent picture taken at the Cavs facility that somehow got posted and went viral on social media. But before I plunge on that, quick word. Ernestine and I live on protein bars. She always has a couple in her purse. I take at least 4 or 5 with me every time I play golf. So when it comes to protein bars, we pretty much know what we're talking about. And I have been stunned by how good David protein bars are. New to me, stunningly good. More important, they are very high in protein, really at the top of the list of protein bars in protein. I can't get enough protein. But David bars are very low in calories. I'm hooked on the blueberry and the chocolate fudge and the peanut butter. Man, to me, they're as good as any candy bar I've ever had. But does David ever have a deal for my viewers and my listeners? You can buy 4 cartons and get the 5th free at David Protein, all one word, davidprotein.com/skip. Use my first name. That's davidprotein.com/skip to get your 5th carton free. Humans aren't perfect, but David is. So now back to LeBron and that picture. All of a sudden over July the 4th, this picture pops up on the internet featuring, and of course, shirtless LeBron at the Cavs facility in Cleveland, taking a picture with a kid who's obviously a big LeBron fan. Denver Jones is his name. Of course, if you watch the NCAAs, you know he started for Auburn this year through their NCAA run. He did not get drafted, but he is playing for the Cavs in the Summer League, so he was at the facility in Cleveland. I don't think Denver Jones posted this picture. Can't find him on social media, but somehow this picture was initially posted on a website called Ball Out Media, which has a grand total of 3,300 followers. Then, of course, it got picked up by Hoop Central. And guess who replied to that pickup? The king of social media, LeCON James. This is what he replied. And every summer since it was built, I live here still and train every summer. Goddamn y'all bored, man. Go get a plate of food somewhere and enjoy the 4th of July, replied LeBron bleeping James. Okay, so obviously by then, every major media platform was picking up the picture of a shirtless LeBron with his arm around this prop kid. And everyone out there was putting 2 + 2 together and getting 3, as in LeBron's going to play a 3rd time for the Cavaliers and help them win another championship. What a fairy tale ending for LeBron. And LeBron knew exactly how to pour skyrocket fuel on this fire. by scoffing at the runaway speculation. Wink, wink, chuckle, chuckle. Wink, wink, chuckle, chuckle. Y'all stop. Wink, wink, chuckle, chuckle. Which inspired billions of blind witnesses out there to run to their keyboards and type away. Hell with those sorry Lakers. The GOAT is going back to Cleveland, where they have two great bigs and a much better chance of winning the king another ring. Bron, this was just brilliant dedication to duping. I mean, come on, man. I doubt you spend more than a week a year back home in Akron. I could be wrong, but I have never once heard of you going back to Cleveland to train in any of your 7 Laker summers. Not one time. I don't remember any other pictures over the years of you training at the Cavs facility. Maybe I missed it. Maybe you did. Maybe just to remind the Lakers you're still in charge and you just might finish your career right back where it started. I don't know. Maybe that happened and I missed it, but I don't remember it. What a duplicitous diva LeBron James can be. I wonder, which member of LeBron's team made sure that picture of him with his arm around Denver Jones got leaked to little ball-out media? Oh, you just know there's a story there. With LeBron, there's always some juicy backstory. I'm just surprised somebody hasn't tried to read into this picture with Denver Jones, the hidden agenda that, oh, LeBron is signaling he's going to the Nuggets. I'm sure somebody somewhere has speculated LeBron to Denver, 2 bigs, Joker and Valanciunas. But here's the upshot of all this. Despite the playoff flameout, despite 2-12, LeBron, the king, he's back in charge, in command and demand. Back on top of the NBA world, whose strings he pulls like a 6'9" puppet master. Pull, Bron, pull. Dupe, Bron, dupe. Deflect that blame. Rewrite that narrative. Flip that script. You won out because the Lakers failed and betrayed you. Love it. Drive it. Send your media minions running to their keyboards to spread your propaganda, your fake news. As I've long said, GOAT LeBron always has needed a scapegoat. This time, it's Rob Pelinka. You're it, Rob. Wait, Bron, your Lakers had the second best odds in the West to win the West? Your Lakers were strongly favored to beat Minnesota, but lost in 5 because you, GOAT, went 27 straight fourth quarter minutes over games 3, 4, and 5 without scoring a single point? Wait, you're 2-12 in your last 3 Laker playoff series because you and your clutch gene have gone missing in fourth quarter after fourth quarter after fourth quarter? Huh? But you, LeCON, have buried all that dead true negativity under an avalanche of, where is LeBron going now? You've again become the story of the summer, even bigger than Kevin Durant going to Houston. Even though you're coming off what might be your biggest playoff flameout ever. I am in awe of what you have masterminded post-flameout. You, phony GOAT, are the king of phony baloney. And I, for one, LeCON, will not swallow a single bite of it. Sorry, not I. Whew. Now, speaking of LeBron, it is time to update my all-time NBA top 10. Number one is obviously the GOAT, the man who went 6-0 with 6 MVPs in the finals, the man who never had one single playoff epic fail, even when he lost. He never needed any excuse because he scared the hell out of the team that won. The man who won 10 scoring titles to LeBron's 1. The man who even won Defensive Player of the Year in the same year he won the scoring title. LeBron never won a Defensive Player of the Year. The man, that man. Now, number two, as always, Magic Johnson, 4-time assist champ, 2-time steals champ. Believe that. The inventor of winning time for the Showtime Lakers. 5 rings with 2 losses to Larry Bird, 1 to Jordan, and 1 to a Game 1 hamstring pull at Detroit. Magic's playoff winning percentage is actually slightly higher than Jordan's. It's 67.4% to Jordan winning 66.5% of his games. LeBron is hovering down at 63% thanks to 15 years of cakewalks through the Eastern Conference playoffs. Just cakewalks. Number 3 on my list is still Shaq. Look, he did win 2 scoring titles. 10 times he led the league in shooting percentage. He won just 1 MVP. He was 4-2 in the finals. But listen, through that three-peat in that one big year when he averaged 30, 14, 4 assists, averaged 4 assists and 3 blocks a game. Those are Wiltish numbers. 30, 14, 4, and 3 blocks. During those 3 years, when he was in shape, Shaq was the man the way nobody's ever been the man as a 7'1" powerhouse. He just grabbed the entire NBA by the throat and just shook it. That's what he did. I've never seen anything like it. It wasn't all that pretty to watch. It was somewhere between basketball and football, but most powerful force I've ever seen was Shaq in those 3 years. Number 4 on the list is Kareem. 6 rings, 6 MVPs, 2 scoring titles, 4 times he was the blocks champ. Enough said. Number 5 on my list, that man, Tim Duncan, who was the man in San Antonio through a dynasty. Tim Duncan should have been 6-0 in the finals. Don't get me started on the greatest clutch shot I ever witnessed by Ray Allen from the corner, end of regulation, Game 6, 2013, saved LeBron from being 3-7 in the finals. Tim Duncan was the leader of that Spurs dynasty, not Pop, Timmy. Timmy was the anti-LeBron. There was no drama, just relentlessly consistent productivity on both ends of the floor. The big fundamental on offense and defense. Number 6 is Bill Russell. Just because of the era he played through and the lack of competition in that era, I don't have him slightly higher. But he did go 11-1 in NBA Finals with 5 MVPs. You can make a case that Bill Russell was the greatest leader ever in sports history, and I won't fight you. Number 7 Kobe Bean Bryant, the late, the great. 5-2 in the finals. Won 2 scoring titles. But here's why Kobe's above LeBron. Kobe made 12 all-defense teams to only 6 for LeBron, which is very good. But 12-6? Seriously? Give me Mamba mentality over drama king any day, any night. Give me Kobe over LeBron. Which brings me to number 8 on my list, Larry Joe Bird. He was only 3-2 in the finals thanks to Magic and Showtime. But Larry Bird, if you know Larry Bird, he rivaled Jordan for being the baddest MF who ever laced him up. He was the complete opposite of LeBron. As clutch as they came was Larry Bird. LeBron wants so badly to be loved by all, to be the nice guy, loved by everybody. Bird was hell with everybody. Bird would tell the best defenders in the league exactly what he was about to do to him, and he would do it. Now, like LeBron, Bird was an all-time great passer, but Bird had none of LeBron's shaky intangibles, and LeBron has none of Bird's intangibles. Okay, which brings me to number 9. I got to be honest, I seriously thought about demoting LeBron from where I've long had him at 9th because of his 28-25 playoff record as a Laker and his 2-12 record in his last 3 epic fail playoff series, especially in fourth quarters. But at 10, I have Wilt Chamberlain. Now, nobody has ever dominated the NBA statistically, remotely the way Wilt the Stilt did. I mean, these are just silly numbers. He averaged 30 and 23 rebounds for his career. In his third year in the NBA, he averaged 50 points a game and 26 rebounds a game. He did win 7 scoring titles. He did win 4 MVPs. Yet, he wasn't a great defender for his 7-foot, 1-inch size. And mostly because Bill Russell at only 6'8", pretty much owned Wilt psychologically. Wilt was only 2-4 in the finals till LeBron's 4-6. 2-4 versus 4-6. So just because I've been so hard on LeBron today, rightfully, correctly, hard, I will conclude today's show by giving LeBron a break and keeping him at 9 for now. That's it for today's show. Thanks to Tyler Korn for producing, to Ernestine for overseeing, and to Hazel for approving.